If you've ever put off important things until last minute just to feel even more stressed and overwhelmed, then today we are going to fix that. So let's exit your lazy girl era and help you stay focused to achieve all of your dreams and goals. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela and today we're going to be talking all about how to exit your lazy girl era and beat that procrastination. I am someone that used to always tell myself, tomorrow I'll do it, next week I'll do it, the next week is another fresh, clean start. Like, I used to give myself every excuse in the book to not get things done, when in reality, I was already failing because I didn't even begin. And by giving yourself a little bit too much grace and not actually getting things done, it is going to just get you further and further from whatever it is that you want to accomplish. So we all know back to school season is already here. Whether you're heading back on campus or you are already finished up with school like me, I still want to roll out some of these videos to really help you when it comes to getting your goals accomplished, getting whatever it is on that to-do list done. And instead of saying, I'll do it tomorrow, sit with yourself after this video and say, that stops now. So we are going to really get to the root of whatever it is that you want to accomplish, figure out the little bite-sized steps to get you to where it is that you want to be, and actually make that to-do list happen. Tip number 1 is break really big tasks down into smaller ones. I am someone that has very big dreams, very big goals, and really big things that I want to accomplish. However, it can seem very intimidating and scary and even overwhelming if you don't have some sort of step-by-step plan on how you can break down this really big thing into something smaller. And so I started to realize that it's not about getting things done super quickly and just getting them over with. It's about doing it right and taking the time and having patience, because I used to think that getting 15 to 20 things done during the day made me super accomplished. I got so many things done, when in reality it was probably 15 to 20 little mindless things that were not even that important. And so learn to actually make the time in your schedule and put that time into your calendar for whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And an example of this is with my business. So I have a media company called Valdez Agency, and I produce different kinds of content on different channels. I have my podcast, my newsletter, my blog, my influencer branch, and all of these things. But the thing that I would try to do is I would try to get all of these things done and film all of the content the day that I had to upload it. So when my podcast would go live, I would film it, upload it, and edit it that same day. When I would have to film and edit a YouTube video, I would do it all in the same day, then upload it. And the thing is that I realized this is going to make me even more burnt out. This is going to make me even more overwhelmed if I don't actually break things down into their own separate day. So now what I do is I break down each project into my calendar into its own separate time and day. So on Mondays, I will focus on my blog and Valdez Agency. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I will film. Thursdays, I will edit. And Friday, I will do my podcast. I literally needed to break all of these projects and really big tasks down into their own days so that it seemed a lot less scary. And the same thing can be done with your goals and bigger dreams or aspirations. So if you are someone like me, like I said, maybe you want a successful business, or maybe you want to hit a certain financial goal like $100,000 in a year, then you have to break this down into smaller tasks. Do you have to learn a new skill, and do you have to pick up on a new hobby in order to get into this new industry? In order to make more money, do you have to increase your income streams? Do you have to go to networking events in your town, meet new connections, meet new people? Whatever it is, you need to literally just break down how you can get there with these smaller steps. So look at your current reality and the goals it is that you want to accomplish, and figure out how you can make something big into something smaller so it can feel a lot less scary and overwhelming. Tip number 2 is track your progress consistently and hold yourself accountable. So as you guys always hear me say in my videos, or if you haven't, there is this app that I really love that is not sponsored at all, by the way, but it is called Habit. And this is an app that I've been using every day now for the past few months, ever since June. And I found out about it because I was looking for some sort of app I can have on my phone to hold myself accountable when it comes to things it is that I want to get done. And so I assign myself these habits that I want to make sure I get done every day. And at the end of the month, you get to see which habit you did the most consistently, how many times you did it throughout the month, etc. And it's just so much more easier to keep track of all the things it is that I'm doing. The reason why you want to track your progress and hold yourself accountable with these kinds of things is because you actually get to see if your tasks get complete, and you also get to see what is working and what isn't, and then make the changes as you go. Because the thing about habits and getting things done is that you have to accommodate it to what works for you and your life. And I've gotten a few comments before of people saying that they don't need to be waking up at 6 a.m. because they can get these same things done after 9 a.m. or that they have nothing to do for the rest of the day if they wake up really early, and that is perfectly fine. But before I started my business, I was in the same boat. Before I started adding more things to my plate and became a content creator and had all of these deadlines, there was no reason why I needed to wake up early too. It made no sense for me. But the only way that you can understand that is by actually doing things and seeing what fits for your schedule, what doesn't. And another way that you can also track your progress is obviously through journals or physical planners. I am a digital girly through and through. So some of my favorite apps that I've mentioned before in my videos is Asana, Habit, and Google Calendar. These are great for all of my personal/business and social media related tasks or meetings that I have to attend versus something physical to track it, because my life is always moving around. It's never the way that I plan it, as life always is. So instead of writing something down physically, I personally like to have it a lot more digital. But if you give yourself a physical planner, make sure that every single night or every week you are writing out the things it is that you have to accomplish. Same thing with journaling. At the end of the week, if you have a bunch of journal prompts that you've written throughout the week, then you actually get to sit down and reflect on how you were feeling, things that you went through during the week, and you get to look at these feelings, look at these reflections, and decide how are you going to move forward for the following week. Do you want to add new things? Do you want to take away things? Just adjust it accordingly. And at the end of every week, when you're going on this new journey, really look at what is working, what isn't, and decide what is your schedule going to be moving forward. Tip number 3 is find role models and inspiration to motivate you. I absolutely love motivational and inspiring YouTube videos that really encourage me to get up off my butt and get out of bed and literally do something with my life. And it can be so hard sometimes on your own to be your own personal motivator. So I always encourage people to find role models or find people that you can look up to, even mentors that can be your light in the dark. Because when I was getting into the business and entrepreneurship world, I had no one in my life to talk to, especially with content creation and social media. Like, I had no friends or people my age who were in the social media world to ask. I had to learn everything on my own, and I had to take inspiration from other people, whether it was from podcasts, reading articles, reading business books, just hearing the stories of other entrepreneurs, how they overcame hurdles in their own life, and taking all of that information in. And because I was doing that and I was learning from these people that came before me, I was able to see the light at the end of my tunnel. So I became obsessed with these people's stories because it literally shows how someone that was living a simple, normal life and had a big dream was able to do it. And it gives me the courage to know that even though I come from a small town in New Jersey, I have the ability to live my dream life. I have the chance to do all of these things that are in my heart, and I can make it happen, just like how you can do the same thing for your life. You have the power to do whatever it is that you want to do. You just have to start. You have to find the people that you look up to, and these people, their stories, these different pieces of motivation and things that encourage you and inspire you, that is what is going to keep you afloat during these tough times, especially when you can't be your own rock, because it takes a while. It takes years of learning to live with yourself and learning to understand like how you and your mind work to really start to become your own rock. Because when I started my personal mindset growth journey, when I was starting this new era where I was like, I want to become stronger, I want to become better mentally and emotionally, I knew that it was going to be a long journey, but I knew that I was going to need other things in the meantime to keep me afloat. And so the coolest part about having mentors or people you look up to is that it doesn't have to even be people within your own industry. Like, I have a lot of people who are in other industries that I look up to that are in the food world or real estate or jewelry jewelry, like I have role models in each of those, like Tara Bosch, Kendra Scott, Barbara Corcoran. These are women who are not in the same field that I'm looking to get into, but they are inspiring women that took a stand and they went towards their dreams and they made it a reality. It literally is just about how to get going. And because I listened to their stories and I took inspiration from them, I'm able to now use them, and I have them on my vision board. I use them as my reminder that whatever it is I want to accomplish, I can actually get it done. Tip number 4 is put hacks into your routine to get started. So I'm the biggest advocate for hacks because this can get you closer to really checking off all of those things that is on your to-do list. And so I have a few that I want to talk about which can really help if you have trouble staying focused or getting things done. So the first is time blocking. This is also known as the Pomodoro technique, and this is when you block specific times into your calendar for certain tasks and then you take short breaks in between. So an example is, let's just say that you have a few homework assignments that you have to get done. So for 25 minutes you can plan your essay and then take a 5-minute break. For another 25 minutes you can write out your first draft, then take another 5-minute break, and so on and so forth. And so after 4 of these 5-minute breaks, you take a longer break that is 15 to 30 minutes, and you keep doing this, the 25 minutes, then 5 minutes, etc. This has been proven by so many articles and universities and people that have done studies that show not only does this help you when it comes to studying more efficiently, but it prevents burnout and it lets you take something really big and divide it into smaller, more manageable tasks. Next is the 2-minute rule. This is something that I heard about online as well, where if something takes less than 2 minutes to get done, then do it immediately to stop other things from piling up. And this works because it helps build up those quick wins and you get things done quickly. It builds that momentum and you get a bigger chunk of those little things done. Number 3 is brain dump first thing in the morning. This is really helpful when it comes to sorting things out that are on our mind and really planning it out for the rest of the day to see where you can get it done. This is a small technique that can definitely be really helpful, especially if you have a lot on your mind and you don't know where to start. And I've told you guys before, I am very unchill, like I'm kind of all over the place all the time, and so I'm really learning to just take things day by day, and by brain dumping and really just letting all of your thoughts out, you can take that weight off of your shoulders, you can relax a little bit more, and after you see all the things that were on your mind and all the things it is that you have to get done, you can now sort it out into a planner or on Google Calendar or Asana, whatever it is, and then by breaking this down into different parts of your day, it is going to become a true lifesaver because you were literally able to just kind of brain dump, brain vomit all these things you were thinking about and actually put them out into the day. The last hack I will give you guys is more about saying no to events or things that you just cannot afford to go to. And by not affording to be able to go to these things, I don't mean literally with money, but I literally mean if you cannot afford it with your time, then do not say yes to certain things. So for example, if you have to finish a really big essay or some really big project, but you have friends that are saying, hey, like let's go out tonight, and it was really last minute plans, learn to say no. It is okay. If you have this episode from this show that you really want to watch, but you have this other assignment or this really big project you have to do, learn to have that balance and say no to things that are standing in the way of whatever it is that you want to do. Because I know that feeling of when you have to get something done, but you end up saying yes to plans and then you're out the whole time and you have this anxiety and this weight on your shoulders of like, I need to actually get this thing done. So instead, learn to say no. This is something that not a lot of people do, but it can really help when it comes to getting things done. Tip number 5 is visualize the dream life that you want and implement the action. So you guys know I'm all about Pinterest boards, vision boards, and manifestation, especially for your dream life. So you have to visualize and have a clear picture of what goal is it that you want to accomplish. And I've said this before in other videos as well, and I will say it again. You do not have to have a set path or a set road it is that you want to go on when it comes to your life and where it is that you are headed. Life is never going to go the way that we planned it. However, we can always have really big dreams and goals for the overall view of our life. I know for me, I really want to have a successful business, and I know that I want a big bank account. I know that I want to pay off my student loans. I want to give back to my family and my community. And so I let that bigger picture be the driver and my motivator for the things it is that I want to do and the things it is that I want to get done. And if I don't have this bigger dream in mind, then it becomes hard for me to really see the light at the end of the tunnel. So for you, you can go and make Pinterest boards like me. I like to set my Pinterest boards on private when it comes to things things for my life and personal things that I want to accomplish. You can also print out pictures of things it is that are on your Pinterest board and put them actually on your wall in your room. As you guys know, I have a whole video where I was putting together my vision board over the summer so I can finish off the rest of the year strong. But by having something physical and visual, especially in your room, whether it's a small picture like you carry it on your walk like how I do, or maybe it's something bigger like on the wall of your room, whatever it is, just make sure that you are having some sort of visualization to really keep you on track of your goals, because there is so much power in visualization. There's so many articles and studies and people that have talked about how important it is to really use visualization to help you manifest the dream life it is that you want. And this really helps when it comes to exiting your lazy girl era and beating that procrastination, because when you have a bigger goal in mind, it makes it easier for you to get the little things done throughout the day, because you know there is something bigger that you are working towards, and all you have to do is just push through these things for the day, and then you get to finally get closer and closer to that bigger dream life it is that you want. The last and final tip for today's video is tip number 6, which is set the tone, set the mood, and your mindset, then get started. So you can take action on your dream life by literally just implementing the steps and making sure you actually get up every day and do the things it is that you set your mind and your heart to. So cut out the negative friends that complain about everything and never do anything about the problems in their life. Cut out the toxic habits or the unhealthy habits that do not make you feel good about yourself. Cut out the sleeping late, the waking up late, binge drinking or binge eating because you're bored, and replace this by thinking about the bigger picture. So before you snooze your alarm, think, what is the bigger picture? What is the dream life that you are working towards? And what do you need to do now to get to that? So I have this quote on my vision board as well that says, a big business starts small and growth and comfort do not coexist. And I really love this because it reminds me that you have to get uncomfortable to one day be comfortable. Like, I was someone who was the shyest girl ever in high school. I was so quiet. I had like no friends. I didn't really talk to anybody. And now I get invited by brands to go and speak on panels in front of business executives and people at these really big companies to talk about social media and growth and beauty and all of these things. But it's literally because I got comfortable with the uncomfortable. I was never the girl who ever thought I could speak in front of hundreds of people. I was never the girl that thought I would be doing content creation or be a business owner, but I literally just learned to get out of my comfort zone. And you can also do manifestation and visualization techniques. Like I mentioned before, I have my vision board right above my desk, and I have my role models and my inspirations on there. I have quotes from people that I look up to, and I just have so many things on there it is that I want to accomplish. And there's also 10-minute meditations on YouTube that I like to listen to, which are guided meditations that really let you visualize what is it that you want to accomplish, really feeling it, using all of your senses to really imagine like what is it that you want and what do you have to do to actually make that happen in your real life. Because the thing with growing and getting things done and being accomplished is that you have to learn to realize that the things you dream of doing or the things you dream of having, they do not come by being comfortable. You have to keep dreaming and keep doing and taking action, because that is the big thing that a lot of people don't do, is they want these really big things to happen, but they don't want to take the actions to get there. You can't get the big bank account or the paid off student loans and the millions of followers by doing what you are currently doing and by being comfortable. You have to jump, you have to leap, you have to be willing to take a risk, make the move. It's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to experience things, but you have to go through these motions to really get to the end goal. And something else to remind you about success or whatever it is that you want to accomplish is that to be successful at anything, you have to be when most people aren't, which is consistent. People do not want to be consistent. They do not want to show up every day because they just want the end goal immediately. And there's this quote that I keep on my phone by Alex Hormozi, which I heard in one of his interviews before. People will never hate on you when you're doing worse than them, only when you're doing better. People will wish you well, but never better than them. And now you're at the top of their mountain. And I really love this because it's so true that no one who is doing more than you will ever judge you. So do not be afraid to take the road less traveled on just because there is no one there. It's going to seem scary, but set your tone, set your mindset, and you got this, and I believe in you. That is all for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I love each and every one of you. We just hit 5,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I am so happy for all the support that I get on here. You guys are truly amazing and exceptional. I love my community on here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!